Hi, this is Veneri, and I am finally here to do my mid-year binder tour. I'm going to be doing this in parts just because the way my schedule is going to be, I'm not going to have the time to really sit down for hours and film, at least not while there's light out. And I'm kind of starting a little late today, but that's okay. So we start with what I consider to be my JYP group. This is just for any of the JYP groups that don't have enough to need to be upgraded to their own binder. I'm not a company stan. I just like a lot of the JYP groups that come out. There's just something about them that, you know, they interest me the most. So that said, of course, we start off with the few Wonder Girl things that I have, because they were before the time of trading cards. And then we move on to 2 p.m. I have this collection of OT6, and I'm only collecting 3 members for Must, which is Junkei, who's my bias, Nikkun, who is second bias, and then I just went with Wooyoung. I don't know, I think I just liked his cards better because it was pretty much between him and Changsong, and I decided to go with Wooyoung. No, I think I went with him because around that time he was on NiziU Project Season 1, so I think just that being a bit more familiar with him at that time is why he got chosen for the 3rd. But yeah, he's the only one I don't have all the cards of right now. I actually just recently finished all of Nikkun's, so I just need to get these last 2, and then I am done for the individual cards. And then I decided I'm only going to collect about a page of unit cards. So I only need 2 more of those. I'm not too worried. They're gonna be the easier ones to get. And this is kind of a miscellaneous 12 pocket. I do want to get all these stickers. I'm not sure if I'll break down and get all these little triangle things. I might, just because they kind of help fill out that page, but I haven't quite decided on that. And then we have some larger inclusions from Must. And then we have this page, which is random Junkei cards. Let's see. These were pre-order benefits for his 20 Minutes album, and these were the cards I pulled from that. This is the limited edition version of that OT6 that we saw. I have his. Not going to bother with the rest because I felt like I was extremely lucky to get the regular version OT6. But yeah, and this is just like a random card. I think it's from one of their early Japanese concerts, because it's, as you can see, it's plain back. I end up getting a random Nikkun card. It's one of the cards that kind of came in with a magazine, so it's like perforated and you have to, you know, take it out, hence the sides being as they are. But I figured, you know what, I had it, and again, Nikkun's my second fave, so I don't mind having extra of him. In fact, if I ever end up with extra cards for any of the members, they'll probably all go on this page. And then these were inclusions for 20 minutes, and I ended up getting something that had this 2 p.m. cafe coaster, and that is that. I do have a very small ILLIT collection. I like ILLIT, but I don't like them enough where I feel like I need to collect someone or collect every era. So instead, what I've decided to do is just collect cards randomly. I do want to have the full set, so I still need to get the Yeji, and then I need to find unit cards to finish these out because I want them different than the Cheshire. I want them from a different release. And then I found these Japanese cards from their Japanese album Ringo, fell in love, and then I found like this set of like unit and group card and loved it, so I went ahead and got that, and it made the perfect page. So, and I'm so happy that Leo is going to be coming back to the group, because I wasn't going to be doing any other I guess collections like this until she was back and I could collect OT5 for something. And now it's just going to depend on, you know, what the upcoming releases are going to have for all of them. Again, for me, it's more or less I'll collect what I want to collect when I want to collect for them. And so far I just have those 2 pages. And yeah, that's it. I'm not sure when I'll add a third, but it is a very extremely casual collection. Though I probably should try to finish this page at least, but we'll see. Okay, and this is gonna be a very empty looking collection just because I only just started. But this is my Extraordinary Heroes section. I wasn't really into like their first couple releases, so I just didn't bother keeping up with them. Then I'm one of those people that every once in a while I'll check on a group again, see if like, you know, I always have like this feeling that, you know, I really need to give a certain group another chance because I gave them one, it wasn't vibey with me, but you know, every once in a while I get this feeling like I need to try again. And I did that with the Extraordinary Heroes, and oh my gosh, Deadlock and Livelock, I loved those albums. So with that, I decided that, yeah, I was on board. If that was the kind of music that they were going to be making, then I was very much going to be following them. And then, of course, I started watching their videos, and I just really don't like the group. My top 2 so far, I mean, I feel pretty solid that Gunil is my top favorite, and Junhan is a second, but I say that because Gon is definitely like a close third. But I'm only collecting top 2, so Gunil and Junhan, and that's what this page is set for. I'm only going to be focusing right now on Troubleshooter, and when I finish Troubleshooter, then I'll start working backwards from there. But I did get like one version of the album, and I decided that I will collect OT6 for some of the versions, which are these like trading card versions, as well as the mirror cards. So these are my pulls from that. Like I said, I've only bought the one album. So they're probably going to be a little bit more casual, not as casual as ITZY, but they're not going to be as hardcore as some of my other collections. But I have a start. That's all I have for them. I at least have a start. And I was hoping to get that start during this tour, so very happy with that. And then we have a NEXZ. I love NEXZ. I'm definitely a NEXZ. Of course, since I love NiziU, I watched NiziU Project Season 2 and have been following them since then. It was weird because I didn't think I was going to like the group as much. I mean, I definitely like StayC. He was my favorite, you know, really early on, which kind of surprised me because he was one of, like, initially I didn't think much, but during the first portion, he just really grew on me. And then in the second, I was definitely rooting for him, so I was so happy that he ended up debuting. I knew I was at least going to be following the group for him, if nothing else. But since then, I've been watching their programs, and seeing them actually interact as a group is really what got me, you know, into them. They have just this really fun group chemistry. I love it. I bought one version of all the different versions for their debut Korean release, Ride the Vibe. What we have here are my pulls. I was very blessed with StayC. Very happy with that. And while I originally was only going to collect my top two, which would have been StayC and Haru, I kind of broke down and decided I'm going to collect top four, which means definitely Gone gets added to the mix. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure about the fourth. I was going to go with Huey just because of the fact that I also pulled him, as you can see. But I don't have like a set fourth. It always is changing. I mean, if I put you there, or Tomoya, or Yuki, I would still be kind of going back and forth and not really sure. Especially since, thankfully, well, you started being super expensive, his prices have gone down. So it looks like it's not impossible to collect him. But I don't think I will be. I don't want to collect OT7. Top four is plenty. But that's it. If I do change out the Huey for another member, I'm still going to keep the card. I know I said I don't want to collect OT7, but I'm worried I'll be too weak eventually. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, this is for their Korean releases. They have an upcoming Japanese release, and I'm going to have to figure out how that is going to play out and just see how that works. But no matter what, StayC, I'm always getting his cards. And of course, they had a Nemo version, and their Nemo version, you do get a full OT7 set, which is what gives me this OT7 set here. Very happy with it. And that is the unit card I pulled from the limited version. Got an extra page just in case. And these are the individual postcards that I pulled. As you can see, super lucky as I pulled both StayC and Haru for those. And then we have empty pages because I will probably be getting more. We won't talk too much about that right now. And these are the postcards that came with, you get like a full set of postcards with the limited edition, and that's what these are. All right, and then at the very end, so when you buy from the JYP Japan store, with every purchase you get one of these little thank you cards. All of them say, you know, arigato gozaimasu. Gozaimasu. Oh my gosh, why am I butchering that? I should know gozaimasu. Oh, okay. I am horrible at pronunciation in English and every other language, so I apologize for that. But yes, they're just little thank you cards with like their signatures printed on. As you can see, I have purchased 4 times from the JYP store. As I found out that they have some deals set up so they can buy from the store directly for you. So if you go onto the Japanese JYP store and it's like notices that you're not, I guess, from in Japan, it'll do a pop-up saying, hey, if you want to buy something, you can do it through Bai, which is how I figured out I could do this, which is gonna be great because I'm definitely buying a lot of NiziU, a lot of Stray Kids, and a lot of NEXZ through that site, and probably we'll get some twice here and there. But this is the collection of what I have. They do seem to be completely random, so no matter what group you buy for, you will randomly get from any of the I guess any of the groups that are on the JYP store. So if they haven't had like a Japanese release and they don't have like goods or a listing on the Japanese JYP store, then you're not going to get anything from them, but everyone else you will. So that is that binder, and of course, with this being my JYP binder, it is just perfect to have that at the end there. And it'll be interesting to see how that grows and how lucky I am in getting. Well, it doesn't matter for me so much who I get for those. I just want a good variety. So that said, like I said, I'm drawn to JYP groups. So I got into collecting twice. They're not like my first tier of groups. They're like second tier. I really like them. I really love Mina, but I don't like them and love them as much as like my old groups. But I do love collecting their cards. And like I said, I do enjoy the hell out of them. Really, I do. So, of course, I had to like collect. At one point, I was trying to do like OT9, and then I realized, no, this is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm pouring so much into a group that isn't an actual alt. You know, if they were alt, then it would be no question. But they're not, so it just didn't seem like it really reflected where I was as a fan. So I cut down. Like I said, Mina is my alt in the group, so I do have a full collection of her cards. Let me okay. So starting with these early eras, I really just sticking mostly to hers. I do have select OT9 collections, like these signal cards. I want to do OT9 for them. And I think I forgot that I wanted to do that. I need to hunt down the ones I'm missing. It shouldn't take much to complete this page since I'm only missing 3 of them. But yes, after that, then we start going into the releases where there will be some top 3, because before I jumped all the way into top 9, I was trying to collect top 3, and of course that's Mina, Jihyo, and Chewie. So I have a lot of their cards. I didn't complete Jihyo and Chewie before I decided to downsize. So I have most of the cards, but not all of them. And like I said, going forward, there will always be at least one OT9 collection. What is Love has more than a single one, though, definitely. So at least halfway through, I'm very happy that I'm almost actually done with this OT9. Same with here. So yeah, I definitely want to focus on finishing up What is Love, though I really need to finish Signal first, and then I can really focus on What is Love. And then we have Summer Nights, where you can start seeing where I don't have Jihyo parts. I was very close to finishing Chewie if I wasn't actually done with her. But yes, then you start seeing what my OT9 sets are. I do have one of them complete. Oh no, that's right. With Summer Nights, I have 2 of them. And then a lot of the POBs are going to be OT3 at least. Just because it just kind of balances out. So we have Yes or Yes then, which is definitely a collection I need to be working on. Well, that needs quite a deal of work. I probably won't be working on them until I finish some of those earlier ones. And then we have Year of Yes, where I actually have a full page of top 3. Then I have an OT9 page, and then we go back to top 3. Because when I was going through everything, that just seemed to work. So I will actually end up having the full sets for Jihyo, Mina, and Chewie because of that. Then we go to Fancy You. So yeah. Again, it's still a mix of completed pages, and a lot of the OT9 stuff is a work in progress. And some of them were picked because they were my favorite. Some of them picked just because I had a lot of them. I definitely wanted one of the photo cards with Chewie in this outfit from the music video. It's so pretty. And one of my OT9 collections that are finished, as well as this one. Really like Feel Special. We have More and More, which is another one I haven't done much for. All right, Eyes Wide Open. Yeah. And Taste of Love, which again, this one definitely had it kind of broke the mold with like how many sets there were. So I think for this one, I do end up getting all the Jihyo and Chewy as well, or something very close to it. No, I do get all of theirs as well in this one. And I had already completed that for both of them. All right, so Formula of Love was really when I got into Twice. So this one's gonna break the mold, and I am collecting the full OT9 for all of the sets for this one because of that, because it's, like I said, it was the, I was kind of waffling about getting into them with like Taste of Love, but it was Formula of Love that was my true start. So that's why they get OT9 collections. And as you can see, I'm basically done. I just need some Nyan, and there are a couple of, well, I think it's just the one Chaeyoung actually that I need. And then the rest I need are just Nyan. And I do have a couple on the way. So some of these pages will be filled soon. But honestly, it kind of works out perfectly for this to be like the set to finish on for this first binder. Also with, oh no, I hate it when this happens. Popped out. Okay. But yes, for the binders, for what I'm doing with Twice for colors is that I want each binder to match with a member's color. Since this is the first one, we have the light blue for Nyan. And it'll be interesting because I also am trying to just do 3-inch binders for Twice, just because of how large this collection is going to be, because the group has been around for so long. But yes, and to make things work out for a couple of these collections, I did use the Target cards to help with that, which you can see here with between 1 and 2, and also we've moved on to a green for Jonghyun. And of course, I've also, at this point, all these POBs are going to be OT9. Because this is the part where I was, you know, buying on release, and it just made, I guess I'll just say it makes sense, especially since Twice, they're easy to find in stores. They definitely became easy to find in stores with between 1 and 2. And this is ready to be. And of course, with all of these, these were all completed collections, except for the latest. I'm working on this one still. I probably should put these up there. No, that's something I'm still trying to suss out. But yes, slowly working on getting all the cards for this. There's still, as you can see, plenty that I need to get. Though I at least have one of the Nemo versions for Mina. These these are killing me. But since I have this one, I feel so much better. The one for this version is not that hard, but the one with the crown version, which is based off of these versions, those are a pain. Well, at least for Mina, because it's just super expensive. And for this, Mina did not want to come home, so she's the only one I'm missing for the bear cards. And I'm missing her for this page too. But those are the OT9 collections I'm doing. And then, of course, you have the Pobs. Also, since the Nemo versions do come with a full set of 9, I am collecting those. I have that one, and I do need the other 2. Moving on, we do have random Mina cards. This is, of course, the result file version of Mina and the target version for with youth. These are a lot of just random cards. I think they came in like trading card sets or whatever. Oh, this is an extra version of the message is back here because I actually pulled the tab off of it. I know this came from one of the JYP Japanese card sets. I think these are all from Japanese albums, hence why they're on this page. And I have this random Mina postcard. Then we get here, and in my area there is a used bookstore. I say bookstore, it's all kinds of media, lots of CDs and records, and it does also have K-pop albums. And one day when I was in there, they had the monograph versions for 2 of Twice's albums, and they were still sealed and everything, and they were super cheap. So obviously people definitely did not know what they had. So I picked them up. This should be, yeah, this is the What is Love set and Fancy You. They were the only 2 that I found, but I have those. This is where I put all the random group pictures or photo cards, I guess. I'm still so annoyed that these go a completely different way, and you can tell because that's upright. I don't know who decided that, but that was a bad decision. And these are from Japanese releases. And then we just have random units. I don't really collect them. Well, except for this, these sets. I did collect all the units cards for that. All right, and here is where we have stuff for solo projects. And this is, of course, for both of Nion's 2 mini albums. And it's a perfect 9 pocket setup. I love this. But yes, I made sure those were matching, like these 2 cards that I had there. Really liked that one. This is the target card. Definitely was keeping that one. I only had to get rid of 1 of these from Na, and I got rid of the one that, yeah, so for this one I was able, for Na, they all came from a different version. I guess we'll go over that later. For Jihyo, since she is in my top 3, I collected a full OT9 page for her solo release. And this page is for Misimo. The cards are harder to track down and they're more expensive, but I do want to fill out this page with cards for the 3 of them. I will do that someday. These are the larger inclusions. But yes, I pulled a card that was in this outfit, and I didn't keep that one. In part because, you know, I had the postcard. That was the random postcard that I pulled. This is from Jihyo. More larger inclusions for Jihyo. And yeah. So I probably should be moving the larger inclusions into my larger inclusion binder. I gotta do that at some point, but I just didn't feel like it was worth it for now. But yeah, I'm going to be busy for a while, just working with youth. Once I have these Nemo, the random Nemo versions, though, I think it'll be what I need to finally make that a priority. But overall, I'm not too worried. They're probably not going to be releasing anything, or at least any Korean releases soon. And I don't really collect their Japanese releases because I do have limits to my bank account. Okay, so I do have a pink for Momo, though this is only a 2-inch binder, so I do need to find a 3-inch version to replace, but I'm not in any hurry, as this is, right now, this just has larger inclusions. Oh, okay. Why do I not? Oh, who knows? Past me is a mystery sometimes. But yeah, not really eyeing collecting a lot of these. These are just basically as I randomly get them. I would like some more though. Me try to aim to get more larger inclusions, but I think I have to. It'll probably be once I kind of more or less catch up with collecting the photo cards for the older releases. But yes, pretty much from like ready to be on, I have been trying to collect a lot of the larger inclusions, though I still need to get that Nyan, and then I would actually be done. With youth, this one's kind of patchy, but I haven't gotten as much yet, so. And these are from the Walmart exclusive version. I have 7 of the 9, and I'm trying to put them together by background. You know, I had them all together because of the bed, but now I realize Jihyo isn't in the bed. She's on a couch. Oh well. Whatever. It works for now. If it needs to be changed out later, it will be changed out later. But yes, Mina and Momo are the only ones I'm missing. Hopefully I can get them still, but yeah, I'm very much in the midst of still collecting with youth. So I'm not too worried about that, or with any of the collections there. Alright, and we are now moving on to my Stray Kids collection. So for older eras, I am collecting my top 4. Of course, Sungmin is my bias. I have to admit, Felix is really coming up. I'm not sure if he's exactly bias wrecker, but I do feel like he has surpassed both Lino and Bangchan. But we'll see. If anything, yes, he is definitely in this top 4 with, like I mentioned, Lino and Bangchan. So, goal is to collect them completely. Still need to get the Felix for that, and then that page is done. Of course, for a lot of these older releases don't have as much. Oh, and I am doing like with Twice, where I have some OT9 sets. I do have some OT8 sets sprinkled in here too. Yes, and again, have not really been working on these older sets as much, so lots of blank spots. So I am hopefully going to start filling some of this in a bit more. But of course, with 8 coming out so soon, it's probably going to be put on the back burner while I finish that, which I will hopefully finish a lot quicker than I did with Rockstar. So then I can go back to working on these older sets. Okay, so starting with NEXZ is where we start my OT8 collections. So from NEXZ on, it is all OT8. I got very lucky that when I got into Stray Kids, NEXZ was super easy to collect for. So I did. And Christmas Evil. This was the first release that Stray Kids had after I became a fan. So definitely means a lot to have this all completed. I even actually pulled some of those cards. Let's see, that's the pre-order stuff. And then we go to Ordinary, which was exciting because that's when they started showing up in Target stores for their releases. And again, this will probably be the last time. Well, yeah, definitely by the next time I do a full binder tour, this will be in a new binder. I'm hoping sometime this month I will upgrade them to a 3-inch binder. So I'm slowly working on trying to get everything upgraded to a 3-inch, and now that the 4th of July is over, pretty much all the school stuff is starting to show up in stores. So I will definitely be binder buying in the next month or so. And move on to Maxident. For this, I wanted to try to make as many hearts as possible. Of course, you just get it. Something's got to end up very awkward because of the number, or how many members there are. But that's why that setup is what it is. It's 5-star. And then of course Rockstar. I do have all the cards. I do not have all the cards here. I mean, I at least have all of the regular album stuff and the digipack. The only stuff I'm missing, this is from the, oh, it's not the rock file. I forget which I always forget the name of this silly thing. Like half the time it just does not come. But yes, this version where it was just pretty much like a thin pamphlet thing. I do have all of these purchased. They're coming in my next NeoKyo. So I am technically done with Rockstar. You won't see it here, but I am. So I just pretty much finished just in time for their next release. Speaking of which, this is what all these pages are for. I know at least 2 of these are going to be digipack, what letter. Then there's 2 for the accordion, special edition, and the 2 regular editions. That's what I have set up. We'll see if that changes because I am only getting the Sungmin for the random Nemo version card. I'm not playing with trying to get all 8 for that. And this little section, these are Japanese cards. So I got a full OT8 set from of this. This is from their Social Path single. And this I bought off of the Japanese JYP store for their fan event, the Toy World. And of course, if they're like the NiziU packs that you will be seeing not soon, because that's the next collection. But yeah, they all come with 9 cards, so you get each member in a group. And yeah, so this is just basically my little Japanese OT8 sets that will probably be slowly growing over time. Because those aren't really planned for, you know, if I pick them up or not. It's pretty much, can I find OT8 and how affordable is it? All right, this is, we start with larger inclusions. So postcards. This actually worked really well because this is actually a clear forward cut, but since I have it on the back of the stickers, it works out. Or did I get that right? No, I did. Okay, it worked so well. I was second guessing of whether or not that was actually clear. But yeah, pretty much keeping whatever random larger inclusions from the older releases. And one of these days I will have a complete collection of these mini posters. And apparently 8 is going to have more of these. So I will probably end up buying enough versions. I think if they're in the regular editions, I'll probably buy enough where I'll have them all. Like I have for the past couple of releases. And then we have, I guess, extra card releases. Since Sungmin is my bias, I do get all his cards. So for like the jewel case, the file, and the Nemo, I do have his stuff. So even if I don't collect OT8, I do collect his. And I've reset that so that way the 2 Nemo cards can come down here. This is random seasons greetings cards that I have for him. And then just random pobs and the like. And I just pick this stuff up whenever I feel like it. And I've got some Daikon cards for him. And these are the Japanese cards for back when they were doing these sizes for them. I do have a few of his. And this is a clear file that I decided to just go ahead and store. This is the little mini poster for the limited edition of Rockstar. I did pull Sungmin, so have that there. And this is unit and group. And then I have this little page for Bangchan and Lino, basically because I pulled these Target cards, and it's 5-star, right? Yeah, the 5-star, I pulled theirs, and I wasn't gonna collect OT8, but I couldn't let go of these two, so I decided to keep them and like start a little page for them. I will say, now that Felix is going up in my ranking, I am probably gonna be adding another page, which will be cards for him. I probably will not be going back to get Target cards and the like, because I can't afford that. Alright, and these are also Japanese cards, but these are ones that I have pulled from albums that I purchased, and randomly someone sent me this. If I can get more of them, that'd be great, but he's just kind of hanging out there on his own till then. But probably not something I'll ever search for unless I ever like catch up with Stray Kids, which, as you can tell, will be a very, very long time, because there's a lot of older releases I need to work on. And now, as I mentioned, we are moving on to NiziU after Stray Kids. They're definitely a collection that are going to need to be moved into a larger binder, but for now, they have this 2-inch. Okay. They're also, a lot of their stuff is best with this. I do need to get new pages. I've brought that up several times. I finally found like pages that I want, but they were out of stock when I could afford to, and now I've got to wait to have the money to buy them, and hopefully they'll be in stock, so then I can start replacing these staples pages, because it looks like I'm going to need them for quite some time for NiziU. And I just realized I forgot to turn off my fan. So sorry about that. As most places in the US, it is hot. So this is what I have. I do collect OT9 for NiziU. Before I was just collecting Nina, so I have her like fully collected. It's going back and pretty much collecting everyone else now. And thankfully, with NiziU being as popular as they are in Japan, I am not struggling so much for finding them, and actually finding some of these for some pretty good prices. But I do hope sometime this year I can at least finish a page. I think this is the only page that I only have the Nina for, and with my next NeoKyo haul, I made sure to get another one for that page, because I don't like only having one card for it. Also made sure to get more of these group cards. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Nina's the only one on this one too. Also for Paradise, they don't have group cards, so I'm just going to put little placeholder papers in that slot because there's not a 10th card that I can put in there. And I'm only collecting their like regular edition, or not regular editions, but the versions that come with the store versions, because there's the With You versions, and I'm not really bothering with those because it's enough just hunting down all of these. Maybe sometime in the future, if I ever finish this, I'll think about it. But oh no, here's another one where it's a lone Nina. But I do think I have something on the way for this one too. So yes, ever so slowly catching those up. I have been focusing on making sure that I get a couple things for Coconut, pretty much with every Neokyo haul that I do. In fact, the next one should get me the Riku and the Ayaka, which will be great. And then I'll just have Mako and Mayuka. And then these pages are for their upcoming release, because they're going back to those size cards. And of course, we have a little section for their Korean cards. I do hope we get another Korean release, of just so it was so easy and so much fun collecting these cards. And Heart Rest was such a good song. Seriously, press play. Really perfect single for NiziU. Okay, so these are the OT9 sets that you get from the Japanese JYP store. And I'm trying to collect as many as possible for NiziU. But this is basically for pretty much all their releases. Light it up because it's for their concert tours. And then sometimes they'll do like, I think this is their anniversary. Yep. And sometimes they just have a pop-up. This is the NiziU fan event. So I have a bit small collection. I say small because there's still a lot that I still have to collect. And these are the OT9 Seasons Greeting set. This is for their first one, where they only had one set. For the next, there are 2 sets, as well as for the Story of 9 cards. And then for their latest Seasons Greetings, they went back to only 1 set for OT9. And then this is the pre-order OT9 set that I have for Press Play. And this is what I got from pre-ordering from ILLIT. And these are random clear cards. They are also pre-order benefits from various stores in Japan. I collected my top 2, which were Nina and Rima. And then I don't really have a third. It's kind of tied between Riku and Rio. Though I think these days I would say Rio is probably ranking higher than Riku, though I do like both of them. But at the time they were pretty even for me. So I figured, you know what, I'll get Riku for this, and then maybe I'll get Rio for something else, and I don't know. I haven't quite decided what I was going to do, if I'm going to expand to that or not. These are larger inclusions. I don't have too many, because thankfully a lot of Japanese releases don't have larger inclusions. And these are from Press Play. There were 4 versions of them. I got all 4. And of course, you know, you're supposed to be able to put them over the cards, but as frames, but I really don't plan on doing that. So they're there. And this is my miscellaneous section. Just pretty much buying stuff off of Mercari. I end up with some random stuff. That's how I ended up with these 2 clear cards. This came from the limited edition of Press Play. I pulled Mihi's. I'm not sure if I want to collect the rest of the IDs. I did actually buy this. This is the JYP shop, the Korean, I believe. Pre-order benefit for Nina for Press Play, and I had to get it because it had the plushie. Yeah, one of the sets I had, it did have a With You for one of the Mako sets I got. So this is what this page is for, just random. So if I end up with any With You cards, they just end up in that back area. So that's, so far, is my NiziU collection. And it's still more or less fitting in here, but I know it's only a matter of time before it's gonna outgrow. So it's it's one of those collections that definitely need to be moved into a larger binder. All right, and moving on to NMIX. I have put it into a 3-inch binder because this collection is way too big for the 2-inch I had it. Really not too much has changed since the last time I've made changes. So collecting Solyon in full, and I am going to be catching up with FE304 Break. I have this on the way, which is going to be the poster card. Thankfully, I found it finally for sale, and I think I picked it up when Nyokyo was having one of their sales for like so much off, which put it into the affordable range for me. But yes, and I should be able to get the other 2 regular album cards, and that will be that page done. And then for my 6-member collections, I will have Lily to add. I've got the Haewon for this, so then I just need to pick up the rest, and I'm not too worried about picking up the rest. It was really Haewon that I was worried about, because for a while I just was not able to find that limited version of her card for a decent price. I finally did, thankfully, but of course now I notice, like, when I go looking for like the other members, I see it, and you know, I'm running across it again finally, but the prices are about the same of what I actually paid, so I'm not too salty. I'm not too salty about that. Like I said, for the Target cards, I have the Lily, so I just need to pick up the Jiwoo and Kyujin, which should not be hard, and that will finally be that, and that will complete this album. This is, of course, all their Nemo versions that I set up to be these 6 member pages. Really happy how that turned out. And then we have Solyon Pops. So I'm not going to collect everything. I think I've gone over this before, but yeah, the plan isn't to collect everything, it's just to collect a whole bunch. But yes, with that in mind, for their first release, Admare, it didn't have too many pobs in the first place, so I am going to be collecting 2 pages worth, so 18 cards in general. As you can see, I've almost got my first page complete. When I first made the decision, I thought I would try to collect everything. I've changed that, so these are placeholder things. They're gonna be disappearing eventually as I work through things. Right, because that's, so as I finish collections, these will be like updated and redone. So for Antwerp, I'm looking for stuff and I'm finding that even though there were a lot of pobs, I'm just not finding a lot. So what I'm probably going to do then for Antwerp is just do 3 pages worth. Because of that, you know, if something changes and all of a sudden I find a whole bunch of Antwerp pobs and lucky draws, then that will change, but until then, yeah, it will only go up to 3 pages. So all of this is going to be changed out. So that's what I had for Antwerp. Again, like I said, in the end, it's only going to be 3 pages worth of cards for that. And then starting with Expurgo, because it's not hard to find Expurgo. Expurgo seems to be where everything changes, and it's just easy to find a lot of their pops and lucky draws available. So starting with this release, I'm going to do 5 pages for each release from Expurgo on. So that would be, and that kind of works out with doing the 2 pages for Admare and 3 pages for Antwerp too, I think, since together they would be 5 pages. So yes, this would be what Expurgo will end up being. Then after that, I've kind of given up. Like, I don't really have anything kind of situated. So this is what I have for A Midsummer and NEXZ Dream. So far, I've just been randomly picking things up. Again, like Expurgo, super easy to find stuff for this era. It will end up being 5 pages. I don't have anything for break yet. That will probably change. I've just been really focusing on Admare to try to get that done, which is why I'm almost done with a full page there. But I can definitely see Expurgo and A Midsummer and NEXZ Dream finishing up pages themselves just because of how easy they are to find. And this is my random Saloon page. So we just have a light stick photo card there. And then we have pobs and miscellaneous cards. No, these are, I guess, all pobs and lucky draws for other members. Still love Lily, and there was no way I was going to be able to get rid of all of them, especially not this one. This was like the one card that when I saw it, when I first got into NMIXX with their debut release, I saw that and I just knew I had to have it. So there was definitely going to be some kind of Lily collection for pops and such. So I have everything up to A Midsummer and NEXZ Dream. So I do need to get some for break for her. For Bay, I originally was trying to collect like top 3 pobs, which was of course Solyun, Lily, and at first it was Kyujin. Things have changed and now Bay has risen up. Kyujin is like right after Bae for me. But what I've decided to do is just go ahead and go back and get, like, for the errors that I missed for Bae, I'll get cards for her and I'll fill that up. So her collection will look like Lily's in time. So I've got that all set up. For Kyujin, I'm not letting go of what I've collected for her already. So I think, yeah, so the plan would be, yeah, because that was Expurgo. For Expurgo, I have this whole page, and that's where the Kyujin is. So I'm going to get 3 cards for A Midsummer and NEXZ's Dream for her, so I can just fill out this page. And then I went really all out for Expurgo, so I ended up with pops for all members. And then this is my cheat page for Lily. Basically, the cards that I have, some of them you may notice as album cards, others are POVs or lucky draws, and they're just the cards I cannot let go of. Yeah, the second page is for any other Lily cards I find, and I have a page like that for Bae as well. And then for A Midsummer and NEXZ's Dream, these are POBs. I know one set was the Aladdin, because that's where, okay. Yeah, one set is Aladdin. This middle one is a Make Star set that I decided to get. I want to say this bottom one is the Aladdin one. Well, where did I get the top one from? I'm gonna have to double check. But either way, as you can see, I got like full sets of 6, so I figure I'll just keep them all. Especially since this Ducky set, it's so cute. So cute. So that's, I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but I'm keeping what I have. And this is random units pages. One of them I got from Make Star. Let's see. Yeah. The Haewon and the Lily. I got the Ducky set and this. Because I got a full set of 6. And then we have sets from Season's Greetings and Faux Albums. That's Season's Greetings. This is the Pick LA photo album. This is Pick Paris. This also came from Pick Paris. And this is just random. I wasn't gonna let go of the Lily light stick I had. And these are my pulls because I did get a new copy of Pick LA, and these were the 2 cards I pulled from that. So I'm very happy that I'm now back on track for break. That should be able to be finished up soon. And hopefully before they release their next, before they have their next release. They say it's this summer. We don't have any dates, and they haven't started a comeback. promotion. I have a feeling there probably might be later in the summer because we do have the Olympics, and if I remember right, a lot of the music shows in Korea are gonna, you know, not air because of the Olympics, because they'll be airing programs for that. And if that's the case, then yeah, it'd probably be best for them to wait for that to finish off, and then, you know, so maybe do like promotions during the Olympics leading up to the release. Yeah, that's just speculation, but I kind of hope so, because that would give me plenty of time to like finish up with break and get some more pops. So this is the larger inclusion binder. I do kind of want to get more of the Antwerp postcards. Oh, and of course this is from Paris. But I like the horizontal cards. I like to put into my binders horizontally, and of course vertically. So I try to do that, even if it does kind of mix eras a little bit at times. And I definitely need to work on getting more of the postcards from break, which I am going to slowly work on. NEXZ is one of those groups that I do want larger inclusions. I want to collect all their larger inclusions if I can, for the most part. That said, I probably won't collect OT6, these sticker sheets that came with the limited editions. If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. But if whatever I get, I will store away. And a lot of this stuff is from Paris. Oh, the LA. And yes, when Break came out, they did have, well, signed albums, which was basically a signed postcard. And I pulled Jiwoo's. So storing it in here, this is like, I don't even want to call it a postcard because it's pretty much a piece of paper. These bookmarks are a pain. Sorry. I just don't want to stay. I've got to figure out what to do about storing these. Maybe I need to get one of those. Try to see if there's something that goes like 6-pocket that way. Okay. And season's greetings. And sticker sheets. And that's just random stuff. But that is my larger inclusion for NMix. And NMix is basically the newest JYP group that is large enough to have their own binders. So this finishes up the JYP section. All right, moving on. It is another day, so the lighting is not as great because I'm using natural lighting, and it is overcast, and at some point it's supposed to rain, I believe. Pretty much from now on, this is going to be the weather, which I actually welcome because the heat was just not it, and this at least makes things a little cooler. But hopefully I'll be able to finish the binder tour. So onto TXT, the first non-JYPE group. They were actually one of the first groups I began collecting photo cards for in general when I came back to K-pop, because I was originally in Got in with Wonder Girls, loved 2PM, loved, well, I say Wonder Girls got me in, but Wonder Girls got me into like K-pop, because before then I liked some K-pop groups, but because of their Japanese releases, like DBSK, or as I originally knew them as Toho Shinki, back when they were 5, fell in love with them, really liked Kara, and at that time discovered, well, I listened to some Boa as well, but then I discovered Wonder Girls, and that was the first group that wasn't connected to releasing things in Japan that I got into, that was K-pop, and through them I got into like 2PM and all that. So, little brief history, but like I said, I kind of fell off when those groups, you know, started to disband and whatever, and there was just a time where I just really wasn't following K-pop. And then I came back because of TXT. One of their, I want to say it was Crown. Maybe that was the first PV, but it was their Eternity release that I really, really loved. So they got me back into K-pop. So this this whole collection, it is a bit sentimental for me for that reason, and I love the fact that I still, you know, really enjoy the music they come out with. Used to collect OT5 when it was doable, but over the years I've pretty much have been like continuously cutting down. Of course, recently I've decided to just collect one member, and it is, of course, as you can see, Taehyun. So I am just focusing on collecting him completely. And to me, it's just a lot more doable. I have to wait for my next Neokill haul to be able to complete Freefall, but it will be completed when I get that in. So yay for at least completing the past era. And as you can see, I have almost nothing for their latest minisode, except for like the Walmart card. I do have some more coming on the way. So there will slowly start being some progress seen here. I just had absolutely no luck with pulling stuff for Taehyun. So this is a mixture of Season's Greetings and one of their, yeah, this is from a deco kit, but I'm keeping it here because I wasn't going to get their card for their Season's Greetings that year because they were random, and so they're ridiculously expensive, and I wasn't going down that road, especially because by then I was collecting Subin, Taehyun, and Hyunkai. And there was no way I was going to get a Subin that was going to be ridiculously expensive. So I decided to get their deco kit cards for that year. That said, now that I'm only collecting Taehyun, I'm not sure if I'll go back to try to find that card. But I do want to get more of the Season's Greetings because for this year, 2024, there were actually 3 different sets. And I think I may want to go back and try. That is the 2024, isn't it? Wait, no. That has to be 2023. Because it was last year. Yes. Well, whatever. Whichever Season's Greetings this was. There were like 3 different sets. And you got like one of the 3 sets for each one. So I want to see if I can get more of his card, the other 2. of his cards from those other 2 sets. And then, of course, the latest season's greetings I haven't gotten anything for. I probably should, though. I'm just right now really kind of focusing on trying to catch up with the album cards. And when I catch up with those, then I'll probably focus more on others. These are the Japanese cards. I don't fully collect, but I do have a good mix from various releases. I'm going to need a new page because they're coming out with a new Japanese single so soon, and I'll need a new page for that. This page is going to be for any pops, merch cards, whatever, you know, various others. For Taehyun, I do have one card that fits in there. I'm so happy to have gotten it. It is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch card, which you can see more from the back. And I don't know why I wanted it. I just wanted it so much. There's just something about this card that I just completely and utterly love. I mean, he looks great in it, and I don't know. I love just how silly this is on the back. It's ridiculous, and I love it. I love ridiculous. So I have that to start, and hopefully I'll get more, but then again, but like I mentioned before, I'm really going to be mostly focusing on catching up with album cards. And once I do, then I can start hunting stuff like that down. Like I mentioned, I did get deco kit stuff. These are the OT3 deco kit stuff that I decided to keep because I really liked how those turned out. Those are so cute. I figured, you know, I can still keep some OT3 stuff. And then I do have some OT5 collections. I have decided that starting... Oh, what was this release that it came with? I'm completely blanking, but yes, from this on, for all the releases, I was going to at least get one OT5 set. In fact, starting with this, since this is where they started all having their own, or no, not where they started, but by now, at this point, it is now kind of a given that they will all have a member exclusive version. So I've decided that I will collect OT5 for all of those. I still need to get the Yeonjun, but I'm kind of more or less focusing on getting the light versions because I'm just so far behind. Thankfully, well, it's kind of hard not to pull something that helps me with my OT5. I've only gotten 2 light versions. As you can see, I got really lucky and pulled 2 different members. And not only that, but they're the 2 members that I tend to worry the most about if I have to collect them. Because Subin and Yeonjun, they are the most popular members, and thus they can be the most expensive. So very happy that I pulled them. Then these are Target group cards before they decided to change up the size of them. I kind of wish they were the smaller sizes like this, so that way I could have a nice page, but no. They have decided against that. And then I have some random units, more random units. These are POBs because I tend to buy every once in a while from K-Pop USA, and if you spend more than $50, they will randomly send you a POB, and these are the 2 that they've sent me. I'm not quite ready to let them go, so they're just chilling here. They're just going to chill here. Because again, I cannot get myself to let them go. All right, and then we have these pages. These are... They kind of match the first Taehyun because this was back when I was doing OT3. Yeah, a lot of them are still missing the Eternity stuff, because I've just been very slacking off for that. Since it was with OT3, this is what I decided to do with Yeonjun and Mumgyu, put them all on one page, grab like randomly a Thursday's Child lenticular card to fill it out, and that page is actually what I would consider done. And then, like I said, these are the oddly sized group cards that don't really fit these pockets, but they this is where they're homed. They like barely fit, but it's close enough. And what I've decided to do, because these are pocket pages, is to move all the awkward Taehyun size cards to their own page to put it with these units. So then that way I have a nice full page with all the other members. So I think that kind of works out. At least this looks super nice. Even though this is a mess. And I'm not really sure what, I guess that first page is going to be mostly group with Taehyun, since they have moved to like regular sized photo cards for the Target exclusive member cards. So yeah. Fun stuff. It is going to be my goal. Like I said, I've got what I need for free fall. I just really need to work on this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna bother with the Kino just because how hard it is to find the Kino, but I guess if I do find his Kino and it's like decently priced, I'll pick it up. But other than that, oh no, I have set up. That's right. I keep on getting thrown off because like with free fall, we had 2 cards per version, but for some reason for Minisode 3, they want to 1. So that has to be for the Kino. So never mind. Yeah, at some point I'll get the Kino. That is not an option. I will get it at some point. And I do have a second binder for larger inclusions. A lot of this I did go ahead and collect OT5 for. That's right. I have these as OT3, and I'm not sure if I'll keep it that way. I think I just might, just because, you know, it's all set up. It looks nice. It really does, so. At least the ones that I've done. Yeah, this is where I start falling off. But I do plan, especially since I am missing the Taehyun, I do plan at one point getting some of these larger inclusions I'm missing. And I had some stuff from the deco kit, which is just for the 3 that I was collecting at the time. Then we get postcards, which again, something I do want to collect, I guess at least OT3 for what I have, and maybe moving forward, just go to Taehyun only. I still haven't decided, especially since I've fallen off so badly with collecting these things, so. And sticker sheets, and then we got postcards. Yeah, I definitely need to get more of Taehyun stuff. Oh, and these were from... No, these are just from the regular albums. And I just kept whoever I pulled. Not sure if I'll go and try to collect more of them. And I really don't have planned out what I'm doing for the larger inclusions for the current era. Hence why you don't see any in the binder. So that's just a giant question mark. But we will see what the future will bring. But that is TXT. And then we move on to the last group that has its own binder, which is, of course, NCT. Even though I don't really collect much of all the groups, I've pretty much just gone down to Dream. And I am only collecting Runjun in full. And as you can see, I have a lot to do to work on this collection. But I am just going to be pretty chill with it. I am thinking, though, I might need to go back to Poke Market. I don't like buying from Poke Market, but for NCT, they're really good at having cheap prices. And I think that'll be the best way to work with NCT, is just getting a bunch of cheap NCT cards from them. Okay, and after the Runjun pages, I do have smaller collections for my next 3 favorite members, which, as you can see, it is Haechan, Chunla, and Jisung. And what I've decided to do for them is collect 1 card for each of their releases. I have really not had any luck with Dreamscape. Though I've noticed my local Walmart, they do have some Dreamscape albums, and I am tempted that whenever I have money to try to at least buy 1 or 2 of those and see if I can pull something. Or maybe check out my local K-pop store, because I do want to support them. Okay, so I do have OT6 collections for these circle cards, because the time frame that they released the circle cards were the time that Mark had been taken out of the group and before he had rejoined them. So there are only 6 of these for these releases, which was just Reboom and Reload. And yeah, I figured, circle cards are a pain to try to get rid of. So it's like, okay, I'll just, I'll just collect all of them. Because there was a point where I was much deeper into collecting NCT in general. And at that point, I wanted to collect all these circle cards, so figure I might as well just keep going, especially since I'm so close. I only have like 2 that I need now. And now this page is just random Runjun cards. And then we have random cards for the other 3 that I collect. And then we have this page. This is my 127 page. Kind of like with ILLIT, what I've decided for the other NCT units is that I will collect at least 1 set of theirs that is like for the full group. I decided to do 2 baddies for 127, if just because I already had some of the cards from back when I was collecting them more. Since for a while I was trying to collect like Yuta, Taeil, Taeyong, and Haechan. So I ended up with a whole bunch of 127 cards from that. I have decided not to collect 127 just because, you know, of all the units, Dream is definitely my alt, and I'm pretty casual with 127. So I dropped them, but then I decided, hey, if I'm doing that with like ITZY, maybe I can do that with all these other NCT units. And as you can see, I have something completed for 127. Not sure if I'll collect another 9-page for them. Maybe at some point, but at the moment, since they're missing members, maybe when everyone's done with their military enlistments and they're all back together again. Yeah, that sounds like probably a good time to do another collection for them. And then, like I said, since I decided to do it for like all the other units, I have one for a page set aside for Wavy and a page. Oh my gosh, how did that get in there? I'm sorry. My hair, it sheds way too much. Okay, so like I said, I have one for Wavy, one for Wish. And then I do have this little Super M collection. Started with just Mark, and it's like, I didn't want to get rid of the Mark. So, and of course, like I said, I was really into collecting both 127 and Dream for a while. So I decided to get the Taeyong cards as well. I still need to complete his set, but if I get those cards for him, which I think I'm just missing 2 there, because I have all of these, and then I will have that completed. And I'm just taking my time there. And then we have random large inclusions. Not really focused on collecting them. You know, if I have them, I have them. That kind of thing. Though I may try to hunt down some Runjun at some point. But for now, just more or less keeping what I got. Oh, totally skipping a page there. So yeah, that is what I have for NCT. And yeah, for the most part, it's pretty casual collection for them. And this is the final binder for groups I am actively collecting. I'll go into it a little bit more, but Kiss My Foot 2, they are a J-pop group. I love them. My favorite is Senga, so I am collecting his trading cards whenever they come out. As with J-pop, it's not as common to have photo cards with releases. And in fact, until recently, Kiss My Foot 2 had 0. So this is a very recent thing for the group. And this is from their last concert. Instead of, since what they usually had in the past were just like photos. Let's see, yeah, this is what you would get. And like for concerts, you would get a set of like 5 photos, like one that'll just be groups, and then like member photo packs. And with this, what was the name of it? Yes, for Dear Life. For that concert tour, they changed it up, and they did trading, or yeah, did these photo cards instead. I got Sengo, of course. I also got the groups, which had units, and that's what those are. And my second favorite is Fujigaya. So I got their sets, and yes, and they have their website up for listing for their current concert for Synopsis, which is their latest album, and they're continuing the photo card thing. But I think for that, yes, I'm going to get Sengo's set, and it will just go here because my third favorite member, Tamamori, I looked at his set and I'm just in love with some of those cards, so I do not want to pass up. But at the same time, it would be very awkward to try to collect. I mean, this is like probably as perfect a setup as I'm going to get with just like 3 packs. So if I have Senga's pack and keep it in his little section, and then do the setup that be Fujigaya, Tamamori, and then of course the group set, it will be perfect. Even though it's going to drive me nuts because with like the photos, they always alternated between like the vertical horizontal thing, and this is just carried over with their cards here. Which is why this is as it is, why you have this mix, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. Actually, I think with the group cards, it actually kind of makes sense. I think the units are all this way, and the group are like these, or I have that switched around. But either way, there's actual, you know, it looks a bit uniform for how the group cards end up. Not so much about the solo cards, but that's okay. I'm still not gonna pass it up. I love Kiss My Foot 2. I loved them back when they were still just a trainee group, and I have been following them since like basically 2007. So I have a lot of love for this group. And like I said, these are photos. This is what the bulk for a lot of idols in Japan, they do photos, not photo cards, just photos. And that's like the main kind of merch thing. So I do still have some. I had a lot. I downsized, and then going through things, I discovered I actually still have a few on hand. I probably will end up getting some more because, you know, they're nice to have. But I probably won't get a whole bunch of them. For Kiss My Foot 2, I do want at least to have a few for each member. And then we have this page. There was a drama series that Fujigaya starred in, and for one of the releases, it had a bonus, which was this trading card set. And I figured I'll just put it in here because they're all numbered, plus not all these groups have any form of photo card, let alone one that I would even have. So there would be no home for them and it'll just be awkward. So instead, they're just gonna live back here. Oh, and these photos, these are for Wataru. Also more photos that I just found that I had, but yeah, common teacher. And this is kind of an old collection that I've decided to kind of build up with, seeing as it looks like they are going to be releasing photo cards regularly with their releases now. They were pretty spotty in the past. The group, I hate their original name. I hate it so much. But it was Sexy Zone. Ugh, I feel dirty even just saying it. Because as you can tell, these are very, very young members. They should... There's nothing that should have connected them with Sexy when they debuted. Absolutely nothing. But that is a very long rant. That is neither here nor there for now, because they have rebranded themselves. They have a new name. They're down to 3 members. They actually plan on adding members, which is usually not something that happens with established groups that have debuted like they have. But they're now timeless, with instead of 2 S's at the end is SZ, to, you know, kind of harken back to the old name. But not actually how to spell that out. And it's fine because they're all adults now. They've been adults for a while now. But yes, they've begun doing like kind of like what goes with Kiss My Sweat 2 is that for if you pre-order, you get like a set of cards for their releases, and for their past 4 releases under Sexy Zone, they had these sets. So I plan on getting all sets of 4, and that's what these 2 pages are. They also released a mini album as Timeless, which I don't have a page for. I need to get one at some point, but I'm only going to collect 1 member. That's Matsushima So. This is Fuma. This is So. But these pages are all for their very old photo cards if, you know, I pick them up. And this is Nakajima Kento. He is no longer in the group, but he will be in those 4 sets. He's still with the company, but he's decided to like focus more on acting and more kind of solo work instead of staying with the group, because being solo, that kind of opens up opportunities for him, especially since he wants to be a little bit more international. So I have some of his photo cards and I'll hang on to them. I like Kento. And these are group photo cards that came with a lot of their releases. What they are actually special codes for various they're like limited time bonuses. It will take you to like a web page where, you know, you might be able to download something like some pictures or something. But on the front they would have like an actual like group image. Then you had like some of these where you just had this a logo instead. But that's what I have so far for that group. I'm so glad they renamed themselves. Very much looking forward to things going forward, especially since I kind of really liked their mini album. Still need to get my hands on the actual physical copy of it, but from the songs I've listened to, really enjoy it. So I plan on following them more, hence why they've been moved into this binder being an active collection because of that. And we're still in J-pop. This should be the last thing. But this is my collection for Oda Sakura from Morning Musume. I'm trying to collect all the cards that came with the first press versions of their singles. And I'm only missing 2. This is also the last time you're going to see this collection in this binder. I bought a smaller binder just for her, since I have a small little shelf kind of dedicated for her stuff, and I figured, you know, it would be perfect to just put her in a little binder and keep that on that shelf. Oh, and there is a new single coming out, so I will have something to add. And these are like the kind of photos you got for this company for their acts. You know, this is their setup for photos. Again, like I said, for Japanese idols, very common for that to be like the goods of choice. All right, and now we can move into K-pop, and we do that with Busakso. Really loved their release of this subunit, so much that it actually kind of didn't fully get me into 17, but definitely like these guys, and I have been more or less liking a lot of recent 17. Still haven't quite warmed up to a lot of their older stuff, but their newer stuff I really enjoy. So I have been collecting at least 3 cards for each release since then. So that's FML and 17th Heaven. And I do actually have some work for, what is it? I Am Here? Is that what it is? Oh, is right here. So basically what I've decided to do, because of how expensive the regular album version is that I'm not going to bother getting that. Instead, I'm just going to get the carrot versions, because that's about the same. So this final row will be whatever carrot version card that I get. And then for these, I'm finding just people who are selling off the individual members for the packs of 13. Like, if you do get like the regular version of the album, you get a set of 13 cards, and of course that means 1 for each member. So I'm just finding people who are dividing that set up, and that's what I'm going to use, because there's 2 versions, thus 2 different sets, and that's what I'm going to do to finish this page, instead of doing what I did in the past and get like the target cards. Because again, I'm not to the point where I'll say I'm a 17 fan. I'm very, very casual with them. I just, like I said, I really loved Busakso. And I look forward to anything else that subunit releases. And yeah, so I'm not ready to put down $50 for an album. So I think that is a good way around that. And then I do have some larger inclusions. I did buy the best of for the Japanese album they released, so that's why I have this. Because that was the Target card. Moving on, I do have a small little one-as collection. So what I'm doing is for the first 9 releases, I'm only collecting 1 card for Xion, who is my bias. And then from Malice on, I'm collecting 3 cards per release, and it's just going to be a little mini collection like that. Very happy. And this is just random cards and the couple of larger inclusions I have. And then we move on to StayC, who I think at this point I might as well just cave in and say that I'm pretty much collecting from Teen Fresh on, guaranteed. I may go back and do previous eras, but I think that really depends on how caught up I am with everything. But as you can see, I do have all of Seon's cards. She is my favorite. I just need to get one of the US exclusives to finish her off. And I have a few Isa and a couple of J cards coming in from various sources as they round up my top 3. And ever so slowly, I want to start working on Teen Fresh. I know they just released their first album, Metamorphosis, and I do want to get copies of that. But again, for StayC, it's another kind of more or less chill collection, you know, where I'm not going to be too worried about keeping up with everything. This is, I believe it's their, did they have a Poca? I forget what exactly the platform version they had. But that is that. Very easy to collect. Loved it. This is all their US exclusive. The one that was like in all of their US versions. So I was able to collect OT6 for that. I also have OT6 for this because this came in, I want to say it was a Polka version. It was either Polka or Nemo, but either way, it came with an OT6 set. So I have another OT6 set because of that. My random cards. And then the few larger inclusions I have. And yeah, like I said, it's a pretty chill collection. Same with Espa. Very chill collection. I go back and forth with whether or not I actually want to collect for them. And what I've decided to do is that I will probably collect 2 members for each release. As you can see here, as that worked really well, as I have Drama and My World. Got that all set up. And I still need to get Armageddon and kind of get that started. But yeah, whoever I pull for that, we'll just kind of go up there. And yeah, so for every release, I'm going to get 2 members. For the Armageddon, it doesn't matter who I pull. For the release after that, it'll be the 2 I didn't pull for Armageddon. And I'll just keep going like that. So I'll just have a small little Espa collection because of that. Then we get the Kingdom. I pretty much started them from debut, which is why I have this OT7 set, basically. This was a message card set that I collected OT7 for. I do want to collect OT7 for these. I'm taking my time though, as you can see. And then I'm collecting Ivan in full. I need to get this card to finish past eras. And I actually purchased their album, and I pulled one of Ivan's cards. I do need the other 3 to complete, but that works out so well. And then we had the unit cards because Realize, which was their latest album, also has unit cards. So I kept my unit card pulls, and I would like to fill out this whole 9 pocket page if I could. And larger inclusions. But yeah, I'm definitely sticking with Kingdom, loving their releases, looking forward to everything else. And then we go back to J-pop real quick. This is a group, Wolf Howl Harmony. I love them. They're very new though, so they don't have much. I did find that they had this photo card set, which came with one of their debut release. They had all these kind of funky hairstyles going on, but I love them. They are so talented. I mean, they're the group from the whole Exile Tribe thing that their vocals, there is no miss. Everyone is an amazing vocalist in this group, and I just love them for it. So that's what they have, and if they come out with anything else, I'm buying it. I am totally with them. And then we go back to K-pop again for the latest group. Oh no, not really the latest, because that was technically NEXZ, but one of the latest that I've gone into, and that is ILLIT, which honestly I was very surprised with, because I didn't watch Are You Next at all, was not paying attention whatsoever, but I listened to their songs. I wasn't completely won over by Magnetic at first, but I think it was Lucky Girl Syndrome. I listened to that and really thought that was kind of catchy, and then on a whim I watched some backstage footage, one of their videos, and just completely fell in love with these girls. They have such wonderful personalities, which is basically all idols, honestly. But they're just so easy to love. And as you can see, my favorites are Yuna and Iroha. Yuna is my top bias. And so I'm just missing a couple cards for Iroha. I do have all their Weavers cards, and these are the Target cards, and I'm still not over the fact that I just bought 2 albums and I pulled both of them from the 2 albums that I bought. That is, I think at that point it more or less was saying that yes, I'm collecting this group, I need to collect them. And with their Weavers, they all came with a set of OT5. So that is what this setup is. And these units, they were US exclusives. And I got all 4 of them. And it just fits this page perfectly. I'm so happy with it. And they are so cute. And from the looks of it, I mean, there have been so many hair changes with colors and everything, so hopefully that means we're going to get an announcement for a new release, because I need more of their music in my life. 100%. And yes, and I'm very happy that hopefully I can get those 2 Iroha real soon. This is so I can get the other group card, because this came from a Weavers, but I do have the other group card together, and I'm going to put that in that page. But like I said, I have that one on the way, so I'm not too worried. I still need to pick up the Iroha, but I will have those soon. I know I will. And I'm really looking forward to having this complete and being and being caught up with at least one group. At least for a little while, but yes. So that more or less covers everything. I do have some like other collections, but they're not collections that I'm actually collecting for, so I'm not going to bother for this mid-year binder tour. When I am doing my end of year, that's when I'll go through all of that. But yeah, like I said, I just want to complete ILLIT. I do want to catch up at least for the photo cards for Kingdom. But yeah, a lot of these collections in here, like I said, they're pretty chill. The main things that I'll be working on are my other binders. Other than StayC, I definitely want to finish Teen Fresh before the end of the year. That's going to be my big thing, because I don't want to really start on anything until I have Teen Fresh done. So even if I get albums, or yeah, even if I do get Metamorphosis, those albums, I'm not really gonna be doing much with collecting photo cards for that until I'm done with Teen Fresh. So that's the big thing, and hopefully I can start filling in these pages. Like I said, I do have some things on the way that will help with that, and yeah, really look forward to that. I think that's like the only thing that I have other than, you know, finishing those 17, but again, that's a very chill thing. I'm more or less caught up with Oneness. So yeah, for this binder, don't have much to do, but hopefully by the end of the year, there'll be a lot more of these photo card sets complete. That's, I guess, my main goal for most of these. So that said, that is, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, this is more or less to clock in my progress, which I feel like I've done pretty well. It's kind of hard to tell because I've done so much downsizing, but I cannot see myself downsizing anymore. I am very happy where I am with everything currently. Sorry about that. I wanted to cut out the person who had to blast their music so I could hear from inside my apartment, despite the fact that they were on the road. I like my apartment. It's not perfect, but I like its location. It's nice and roomy, perfect for a single person. Though being as close to the road as I am and the parking lot, it's not always ideal. So, getting back onto topic, honestly, like I said, I'm pretty happy with where I am at currently. I've also finally got myself in a financial situation where I can afford, you know, to keep up with what I have. And I don't plan on adding anything else. I mean, honestly, after ILLIT and NEXZ, I don't feel, I think adding any more, or even Extraordinary Hero. Yeah, with those three, I don't feel like I could add anything more without feeling like it's way too much. Even if I could afford to. So yes, very happy with what I've decided and where I'm going with my collections, and very much looking forward to the end of the year and seeing what I will be able to complete by then. So with that, I will just go ahead and wrap up. thank you so much for watching. This did take a lot longer for me to film than I wanted it to, but with the heat being what it was, I wasn't gonna force things. And I'm still getting this out before Stray Kids drops, or their 8 drops. It's cutting it very close, but it's still before then. So I'm still gonna take that as a victory. And speaking of 8, that's definitely going to be my next video. I'm pretty much opening up those albums on Friday after I get them. I'm not sure if I'll do an all-out one. I'm thinking about it because I just don't have as much money as I would want for like a massive one. But I did go ahead and I do have my pre-order in for the letter versions. Decided to wait on getting the Nemo versions because again, I'm only gonna get Sungmin his random cards for those ones. So I'm not sure if I should just wait and buy it off Mercari Japan or something for that. But like I said, I definitely have the letter ones, so, and I'm very excited because at least with the letters you do get POBs, and like usual I pre-order from ILLIT, so I'm very excited to see what those are and actually buy something Stray Kids that will be having POBs coming with it that isn't like the Target exclusive version. But yes, I'm definitely going to be buying a bunch of albums on Friday and probably for the next month or so. Yeah, for the next month or so, you're going to see a lot of Stray Kids 8 albums. Just so that way it's a lot easier to trade. But I'm getting off topic. Like I said, Friday, Stray Kids 8, whatever I can purchase from Target, potentially Walmart, maybe even Barnes & Noble, I'm not sure. I don't really care too much about the unit cards that are the bonuses for Barnes & Noble. And, well, I say that, but I haven't seen them. If they're cute, I might break down and get those. But I think for Friday, it's mainly going to be Target. If I go to the Walmarts, it's going to be for the accordion versions. That said, and like I said, I have that pre-order, so hopefully soon after the release date, that should come in. My orders from ILLIT, they do tend to come in pretty quickly, so let's cross fingers there that holds up, and I'll at least have that. And then I will just need to financially recover for a while, pay some bills, and then I'll go back. Well, no, then I also have, I do have a Nyokyo order that I just sent to packing today. So that will be before the end of the month. That will come in. I will also have a haul video for the end of the month. It'll probably be pretty tiny because most of this month has been just saving for Stray Kids. And let's see. Yeah, that should be all for the rest of this month. If you're interested in any of that, and if you want to continue following me for my journey and see, you know, these pages fill up, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss anything. And until next time, bye!